Okay, yeah, now I get to do my intro. Yay! Okay, welcome to the Insult Cast, the insult to every other podcast. Yes, I'm doing another podcast episode. I know it's been fucking a year, but I'm here joined by, do you want me to call you PM Doggy or Poggy?
You can just call me Piers, PM, Doggy, Poggy, whatever you want,
Okay,
man.
cool, Poggy. I'm here with Poggy and also Technoprism. And no, I'm not clout chasing because he has more subscribers than me. What are you talking about? What? Psh, no!
I mean, I don't really have that many subscribers. I only have like 930.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
I
that
also
many.
have 190, so that's like, and
Yeah,
Pierce has
I
like
mean,
20.
I have 40. I have 43. I'll have you know. I've been in a couple of your videos.
I mean, you've been in the ones that are deleted. I want you to like, you should like
I
realize that.
I thought you said there was like 2 videos that.
I think
were
you're in
left.
the Uno one. The Uno one is still up.
Yes.
Okay. So would you guys like to give down a brief or give a brief rundown of what you do?
I sound fine.
Oh, you cut out. Wow, that's lovely.
Video.
Okay, Pierce
Yeah.
plays video games in Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, go on, Technoprism.
All right. What I usually do in my spare time is I play a game or social platform called VR Chat. I used to do VR Chat documentaries, which in a sense were just kind of like videos in a sense, of course, documenting, iconic users or members of the community who've made like a major impact on the game and just several people.
Can
It's
I just
a
point
very
out how you
wholesome
use
thing.
the term social platform? Like that is the most. That is the most like. That is. I just want to point out that is the most probably like intellectual this podcast will ever get. Is you using the term VR chat is a social platform for so and so. I do these very good things called social. It's like you fucking wrote up a script. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do you
I was
have
like,
a
Jesus
script?
Christ. Like my
Do you have a
content.
script? Do you have to
Like,
read up in front of your
literally-
classroom for a presentation? Like,
Literally, Poggy, you're just like, oh, by the way, I do Rainbow Six Siege content, and then my content would basically be, oh, by the way, I do a podcast and make random memes and do somewhat commentary bullshit and maybe random other crap, and it's like, hi, I'm Jim Johnson, and I do like VR chat documentaries on this social platform where I go and talk to and communicate with people that are well known on the platform or not as much. What can I say?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, this is the
Wait.
podcast. We have no questions
Question.
pre-prepared, as usual.
I have one.
Yeah, go
I
for
have
it.
one.
Go for
Great.
So so there's this one really famous VR chat YouTuber. I forget his name. But what is it? He like.
Let me guess. It's Jamsky.
Yeah, James K. Have you met him?
Met him once. It was in like this little manor
Come on,
world.
come on, call him out, so then we can get more. You can always defend yourself on the podcast, like.
I actually had an opportunity, and he actually came to me one time, I think, where he was saying, "Oh, hey, I heard you do these documentaries. Would you be, willing to do one on me?" I declined, of course, because
Oh, savage.
yeah, personally, I don't really agree with like the things that he does. In a sense, not really like that he does anything like
what does
wrong.
he do for anybody that doesn't know? Me.
Last time I checked, or last time I heard of him, I haven't seen him in ages though, is that he did like VR chat videos and I think VR chat streams where he was just going around like memeing
Oh
stuff.
yeah. That was big that was big like a year ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But
What do you mean by, like-
I feel like everybody memed on each other. Now it's calmed down. VR chat's calmed down a lot, which is nice.
Yeah,
Like,
uh,
by memeing, do you mean like Uganda Knuckles kind of stuff, or like?
Yeah, and I started playing VR chat right before that sort of thing, so I was able
Yeah.
to see just a small community of
played
like
it-
literally 300 people that just
Yeah,
were just very close, and it was like a family in a sense. And then Uganda Knuckles came in. It was like, okay, now we got a bunch of
Then
random
it
users who are
began.
just for the
Yeah.
memes. It's like
Yeah.
here comes the horde.
VR chat was such like I think I streamed VR chat twice and then edited down a video for it. And I may still have the video somewhere, right? But I
See,
deleted
VR
it because I
chat-
changed my content. But VR chat was like I gained like 20 subs just from VR chat because someone would join my stream and whatnot. But also when I'm in VR chat, I feel like I have to mention that I'm recording in some capacity to be like
Right.
a decent human being. And they're like, "Oh, what's your channel? What's your channel?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I mean,
Just because you're asking.
just because you're asking." And then it would just like get me subscribers from me just saying that.
Yeah.
See, like VR chat, like when it first came out, like I was going through like some personal shit and like just like didn't like talking to random people. So I would always get invited by my friends to play this like new game, and I honestly just didn't enjoy it. I was always just kind of observe like that one creepy kid in the back,
Yeah.
kind of like
Doing
I
his
don't know,
practicing his Naruto jutsus in the corner of the classroom.
like summoning a demon in the corner. But and I always just like I never found like I never had super like just had fun with VR chat, so I never really got like the experience like.
Yeah, it's
The only thing I
definitely
ever
much,
saw-
much more fun if you have a VR thing. I haven't played
I
it in
have
actual
an
VR.
Oculus.
You do?
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Fucking since when?
I've had it for a couple. I say like 3 years when I got my
Oh,
computer.
okay. I have my
But,
I have my
um,
Vive, but I haven't set it up in my room yet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to set up with two sensors. That's why I have
Yeah.
a third sensor, but I haven't set up my new computer that I bought the parts for. And so when that's set up, I can set a 3-sensor setup.
Okay, this question is more towards Technoprism because I need to think of a question that's specifically for you, Pierce, because your content is more like yours is more stagnant and it doesn't have as much like it's more gameplay oriented, not as I wouldn't say diverse. I guess.
Commentary. Or, like,
Yeah. I'm saying it's not as like as diverse as Technoprisms or whatever. So I have less questions for you because I know you as a person. So I'm like, oh, there's not much different than I can disorient from Pierce being funny joke and Pierce making funny joke while video game. Like,
Well, video game,
yeah,
yes.
well, video game, yes. Okay, okay. My question to you, Technoprism, is what got you into 3D modeling and stuff? Because you do that a bunch, or not a bunch, but like to
It was actually it's kind of a interesting story. So of course, whenever like yeah, finally, funny story, finally something interesting.
Gold. This is
Gold,
gold.
comedy gold. Anyway, so when I started VR chat, it's kind of common for everyone to when they start out, they just pick up an avatar they find in a world and then kind of identify themselves with that. It'd be usually like some sort of standard, ordinary, everyday anime avatar
lolly,
that no one really cares about. I actually started with like a small little fox character, small little fox schoolgirl hybrid. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah. I used Kana. I can't really complain. Like the traditional.
Yeah, the funny thing is that the reason why I picked that avatar initially was because I thought it was a cat, and I was uncultured in anime, so I didn't realize it was a fox.
Fuck. Oh,
Yeah, people were like, "Hey, that little fox girl." It's like, I'm not a fox. Oh wait, I am a fox. But of course, I didn't want to be that forever, so I hooked up with somebody that I found while I was doing one of my documentaries, the Hyena documentary. A user called Apple Juice Gaming, who was one of like the best avatar creators, or like learning to be one of the best avatar creators in
if you want
VR
to come on
chat.
the show, you're always welcome. Okay, go.
I actually haven't talked to him in quite some time.
No, I know,
But
but on
I'll think about
the 0.2% chance
Yeah,
that he sees this, hey, if you want to come on the show,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just put VR chat in the hashtags. He might see it.
Yeah, you may see.
Yeah, maybe. But once I started talking with him and found out that he made avatars, I started thinking, what kind of avatar would I need, or use? What would be me in a sense?
Mhm.
So I just I thought less creative but more practical in a sense. And because I made the VR chat documentaries, and one of the issues that I constantly ran into was someone would come up to me, and since I was a small little cute avatar, they would always come up to me, start patting my head. It'd block my vision and I wouldn't be able to record correctly. So
Oh, okay.
something to kind of like change
The
that
lolly.
drastically, I decided to, what better way to represent that I'm the camera guy by being a literal camera.
Yeah.
So my first custom avatar that was truly me was just a floating DSLR camera that was my head, and my hands were just Oculus controllers, so I knew where they were.
And now you added the business casual man aesthetic.
Yeah, because over time, since I used that avatar pretty much all the time, since that was my only like real avatar.
Yeah.
Everyone kept saying, "Oh, you should, create an actual body so it feels like I'm actually talking to somebody." It's like, you know what? You make a valid point. I actually objected their
Yeah.
ideas at first because it was like, I want this to be purely practical, but it's like, it just kind of like crumbled underneath. And again, Apple Juice Gaming was the guy who was making my avatars for me.
Oh, okay.
So clarification on that. And then after time, I wanted more variation. I wanted more, I wanted a big camera, a giant camera avatar. So it was like, if there was like a large crowd of people, I could have like a bird's eye view in a sense and look down on all of them and kind of like get
Like God?
really good camera angles. Yeah, almost like that.
I wanted to be God in VR.
I wanted to be God in VR.
I wanted to ascend.
Yeah, but over time it was it grew apparent that he was trying to take on more ambitious projects, and him trying to accommodate for my avatars wasn't working out.
Yeah.
So I decided to start picking up, making avatars myself, simply just porting stuff and all. And the more and more I worked with it, I got very interested in, just all the complexities of modeling that I had no idea that, went into it, such as, you have the base texture, which is put onto the model where it's all the colors and stuff. Then you have things like normal maps, specular, roughness, metallic, detail maps, and it's like all these things that I'm sure make absolutely no sense.
Well, I mean, you kind of from like playing video games perspective, it makes sense just because of all the I would say new wave of like people that are playing video games, and it's like, and so when you have like, I mean, if you play a shooty bang bang game, you might not know what it is, but if you play something like Breath of the Wild or
I love Breath of the Wild,
or like stuff like that, you probably know the terms like texture and whatnot, or Minecraft texture pack. Like, come on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's a really good one to compare.
Like,
to.
I have a general consensus of like what you're talking about, and I feel like most people kind of know because it's like just technology is so relevant these days, so they kind of have like a general idea.
Yeah, and that sort of thing doesn't apply to just video games. It's for like animated movies, presentations. When it comes to like architecture and stuff, it's just general technology in a sense that can be 3D printing as well is also a very cool thing. And it wasn't until just about a month ago I started taking up a project of creating. I've done mild 3D modeling in the past. Jim Napkins, yes, that's something I modeled. But
I just want it to be such like an inside joke to where if anybody hears Jim Napkins on my channel, they do not know what the fuck it is, and like it's like Sand, shut the fuck up about Jim. But it's Jim Napkins. Like
it's Jim Napkins.
I've seen a couple instances.
He's only heard and seen a little bit of Jim Napkins. He does not know the full experience of what it is like to be embraced by a true god.
I feel like one of y'all like ate a Jim Napkin and just said it was delicious.
No, it's Jim Napkins.
Or like you had to smuggle something, so you ate a Jim Napkin.
It's
just like, hey, what's in there? Just Jim Napkins.
It's just Jim Napkins.
It's just. Oh yeah. By the way, do you do any other art stuff besides 3D modeling?
I draw sometimes. Really all I do is I just have like a little art sketchbook that I draw in. It's like if I have a cool character design that comes in my head, I sketch it out and kind of give it small little character details, kind of like work up a story for it. And they're kind of like, I kind of call it like a little bit of a stash in a sense, because these are all things that I think would be interesting for me to like try to make into try to make it into characters. Like even the the one model, the first model I ever made that was, the first ever full character model that I made was actually based off a sketch that I made several months prior. The character is just called S2020. I think I've shown you pictures of what he looked like.
I think you've shown me a bit of it.
Where it's kind of like a cyborg cat.
Yeah, I was asking because some people that 3D model or do stuff on that kind of level is like for me, for example, the reason I thought about 3D modeling for a bit was I would sit down and I would be like, man, I've been trying to draw for like 2 years and it's just not fucking working. Like,
Yeah, it's hard.
like I used to be like okay, but I stopped drawing for like a month and now I am complete and utter trash again. But and now I'm starting to paint on my wall because I feel like it's more of a one, I need to make my background look like actually something. And two, it's like, oh, this means I can practice a bit, and also if I fuck up, it's there permanently, and I can always just look at my failure. But like so far, I have not fucked up, and I am so proud of myself.
See, like art, like I feel like everyone or most people have had like a general interest in art, and it's
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
like I used to draw when I was younger, and I thought it was so cool when I would put the piece of paper over the iPad and trace the lines. I'm like, look at this great drawing, and it's just like I tried drawing like sort of like this. I can't even draw a fucking circle. And I did this for like a solid year. I'll just sketch when I was bored, and I just like I'm one of those people like I can't learn something by myself. Like I have to have like someone physical teach me how to do something, and so I just couldn't devote the time to learn to draw.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I just started doing. The reason I asked was because I just started doing pixel art a little bit. Because like me and Rockin' Davis, if you know who he is, were watching a stream of this dude that does Gorefield, and wait, what is it? It's like his name's like Lumpy
Lumpy
Tunes
Lumps
or something,
or Lumpy something.
Lumpy
Yeah.
Tunes or something, and he does a lot of really detailed, cool pixel art. And I saw the
Make
program he
animation.
used, so I was like, oh, I might as well like try pixel art because I tried it at one point, but I never could find like an actual program to use. So it's kind of nice to find an animation or whatever program, and I may incorporate some stuff into like not thumbnails, but like transitions and whatnot on my channel.
All right.
Doing like little animation stuff, like have a little insult meter or some shit.
Insult meter.
Insult meter. I've been trying to come up with fucking jingles for everything now because I thought about coming up because one of my friends plays the harp and one of my other friends plays guitar, and I have a bunch of people that play musical instruments and also draw.
You used to play the French horn at dance band.
Yeah. As you can tell by my like channel banner or profile picture, I have like a bunch of people that do art stuff. And so I've just been thinking like of coming up with lyrics and just pitching it to people and just being like, hey, can you like sing this for like it's gonna be like 30 seconds or like 10 seconds. I just need this. Because I'm trying to think.
I need this.
I came up with 3 different jingles that all start with the first 2 lines. And for the podcast, because I just thought it would be funny to have like a jingle for the beginning of the podcast or something. And I think the first one was welcome to the Insult Cast, so don't finna blast. Stay here to get some ass, and then I changed it to stay here to get some or to smoke some grass, and I was like, man, colleges may not like me making those making that as my like main jingle, because that would be in every episode, so that means that they would, if someone were to check it out, they would just the beginning is just, oh, by the way, smoke some grass, and I was like, oh shit, wait, maybe
Smoke some grass with
maybe
the boys.
I shouldn't do this, and so I changed it to welcome to the Insult Cast, so don't finna blast. Stay here to get some laughs or something. Something around that lines. I had another one that was for the my other series, which is Insult to the Web, where it's like if I find something that I'm just genuinely like, oh, this is like kind of trash, be Insult to the Web. But if I like it, I'll have my other persona Compliment Web, where it's like, oh, this is kind of sick, dog. I'll make a video saying how amazing this is. So I have my 2 dynamics play polar opposite selves.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you're just like crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm completely clinically insane, and that's my whole entire shtick, Okay, so
Hey, dog.
so Poggy, you don't do you haven't uploaded have you uploaded in a while recently?
No, I'm dead. I
Yeah,
died.
you're dead. Okay, so no, join the club. Like we all stop at some point, and then we just start up again at some random point.
I mean, it's just like I don't know. I just haven't. I went away for a long time. I've just been kind of like doing things in real life, hanging out with friends, and it's just like
Hey,
also
I hang out with people. Don't insult me. Don't like poke
Oh
at
no,
like,
I want to be
yes,
on
Ed,
Insult the
you're
Web.
You're not hanging out with
anything,
people.
Anything with that.
Yeah, anything. Where'd he go? Just dipped. But anyway,
He done did it die.
So it's just. And it's also just like with making the same kind of content, like those videos, like I'll be editing them for like 4 hours.
Surprisingly,
Right?
like whenever I look at my video, I'm like, dude, I edited that for so long, and everybody's like saying your editing's trash or this is shit. And I'm
No,
like,
like
dog,
I'll
5
edit.
a.m.
I'll,
gang, stay up till 5
I'll
a.m.
edit it for 4 hours, right? And then I'll do and over like multiple days.
And then
like,
you
so
won't
it'd
give
be
a
like,
thumbnail to it, cough, cough.
Yeah, I mean, I
Wink,
don't know.
nudge,
I don't.
nudge.
So like 4 hours like a day. So like I'll usually spend maybe like 10 hours making a video, like
Mhm.
over a week or a month, depends. Cause like one, like I'm still kind of editing, so I'm always figuring things out as I go.
Yep.
And two, what I usually do is I'll like record a bunch of footage. Whenever I get a cool clip, I use like GeForce Experience to record the last 5 minutes of me shitting on kids, right?
Oh god.
So then after that, I plop all the videos, like maybe like 2 hours worth of videos, and I literally watch all of them and cut the ones out that I don't want.
Oh yeah, no.
So that's
Editing.
that's all.
Do you edit your streams or whatever? I
No, I
remember
don't edit my streams.
Okay, yeah, because what I did when I uploaded game content and whatnot, because I can't play video games without streaming, or if I'm not with someone, I guess.
Mhm.
I tried to. What I would do is I would stream, and then I would like cut down the stream, and I did this with a few other videos, like where me and a bunch of people watched a movie, and it's like the most like. Sometimes it's entertaining to like sit through and just chill and just watch an hour-long video and just like cut it down. But sometimes you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, wait. Like
Would they enjoy this?
I
Or
have to, I have to watch an hour-long video and like cut it down to a couple of minutes because I can't make it too long, but I can't make it too short. And then you get all these like small clips, and then you're like, okay, which ones stay and which ones go? Then you cut those out, and then you're like, okay, what do I need a subtitle? What do I need to add pictures to? What do I need to make fun? Like, whatever.
Yeah, like, and I also have like the thing is like a lot of it's just like thinking like what would be funny or like what would be interesting.
It's more
So, like-
engagement. I like funny and interesting is more like a side hand now. It's more like, okay, how many flashing lights can I put on the screen? With the
How many
toddlers,
kids-
with the toddlers,
how many mer-
like if I put like a little rainbow light here, like
How many kids can I make disabled for a lifetime in this one video?
Can I make this like the Pokemon episode that gave people seizures? Let's see here.
Let's see. And see, like when you do commentary videos, which I think is like more your style, like a lot of the work is already done for you because you're like, all right, I've already said this and that's funny. But when you have clips like this would be cool. Now, what do I do to make it funny? And then you have to. And then
Oh,
I
you
use
mean
DaVinci.
like editing memes and stuff?
Yes,
I do
that's-
some of that. Like when I think of a fucking funny meme, I'll edit it and upload it, even though it like has no place on my channel.
Yeah, but like if you were to say,
Ghost Scout?
if you were to say, if you were to say upload a
Ghost
video
Scout.
without adding any memes to your kind of channel, it'd be commentary, right?
I mean,
So it makes
yeah,
I mean,
I would
it's
say
not-
that. I mean, I do also do like a lot of random shit.
yeah,
like-
you do random shit. Of
Like
course.
I will come on Discord sometimes and just be like, okay, boys, today I'm just gonna be filming our Discord call for no reason whatsoever, and if something's funny, we're gonna put it in this video. That's what I did for Mia Mafova when I did that and uploaded for 31 days straight. God bless. But I had like four or five of those videos are literally just being like, hey guys, I didn't sleep. I have like a shit ton of homework. It's kind of exam week. Oh shit. Yeah, this is my video for today. Yay. Like some of them aren't edited at all because I was just like, fuck, I need to study for exams. I did it throughout exam week and made the video day of on exam week.
Damn.
Like
And,
a
like, the last-
gangsta.
The last part about being a creator at a low sub count is knowing that like no one watches your videos, right?
But when you get that
It's like-
fucking comment, it's more exhilarating than anything.
Yeah, and it's like I'm like a person like I said earlier, like I have to have like some sort of reward or like some sort of like grasp of like what's going on, and so it's just hard for me to like put all this work in for something that like no one to like one person's appreciating, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just like kind of from a new creative perspective, and like I'm hoping to maybe put some content up. But like another thing with Siege is like I love Siege, but it's just going down like a bad path.
Well,
Like,
it's
there's
also because
many
so many people do it.
and one, there's so many people do it, and two, there's just so many hackers. Like I stopped playing Siege. I'm
Oh,
playing
yeah.
like it's just not fun. Like
People
they
do-
hacking.
The
Casual
The
now.
thing about game videos though, are that if you don't have a face cam, you're like, or don't subtitle, you're like low to succeed, because subtitles it's like, oh, flashy light on the screen, and also you can kind of, it makes things funnier for some reason. Like reading it
Yes.
while having stuff said, it makes it funnier.
But
But also, it's like you need to put personality into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if it's just you talking, it still won't be as interesting as if I have, like, fucking Zan sitting in the corner with heart-shaped sunglasses being complete and utter retard in the corner of, like, my screen. Like, that's going to be funnier than if I just had a video playing in the background and just random crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like the small boy perspective of
small
YouTube.
boy. I mean, we're all small boys, but in YouTube standards.
Yeah.
I mean, unlike Technoprism 900.
Mr. 900 scrub.
Hey, I'm going for 1K in 2 weeks. Let's go, boys. I just gotta, like, steal people's clout. Like, that's my goal.
I mean, isn't that the goal of everyone? You know.
Steal people's clout. No, I think it's to, like, create your own. But right now, I'm stealing other people's clout to create my own clout.
Yeah, it's a fun game of YouTube IO.
Yeah, YouTube IO, man. We gotta absorb the other people's clout.
You haven't heard of Tuber Simulator?
What? Tuber Simulator?
I've seen only like a few YouTuber game simulators, but haven't really watched any gameplay of what they are actually.
They're just like mobile game cookie clicker, but with other concepts.
Yeah.
It's like if you just added a few mechanics to Cookie Clicker.
Yeah.
So what about you, Xander? Like, what's your channel looking like right now? Like, what's your goal to get to 1K? Like, how
why
are you
do I
want
to get to 1K, or how do you think I'm gonna get to 1K?
How and why?
Okay, I'll start with the why. I want to get to 1K because a lot of people have been asking me. There's two things. A lot of people have been asking me to do merchandise and stuff, and I'm like, I'm at a point where I'm not big enough to where if I make merchandise, enough people will buy it to where I'm just gonna be like satisfied. I have like a good 15 people that would want to buy Insult Web stuff. Surprisingly,
yeah, I feel like your logo's cool.
A lot of people want to pog it or whatever, or cop it.
Yeah,
so
pog it.
Yeah,
Like,
pog. I don't know. Sorry.
Poggy, bro.
Okay, yeah, poggy. Okay, so a lot of people want to cop it, and I was like, okay, if I get to 1K, I'll work on merchandise, commission people, and sell it. Because either my friends are gonna do it and they're gonna want something out of it, or I'm gonna have to commission people and actually buy the art. And so that's one reason I want to get to 1K, because I need to have somewhat success to be able to do that. And and also because I want to buy some for like Mr. Chefs and shit and ship it to him in like Scotland or some crap, because I think it would be fucking hilarious. I wanted to make ties at one point too and give it to my teachers. But anywho, a second reason I want to do it is because I really badly want to do like a charity live stream and like raise money for a cause or some shit.
What's the cause, or do you just not know?
I mean, there's choices. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you off air for like the causes and reasons for it. But anywho, so I want to do a charity live stream. So I'm a decent human being, I know, surprisingly, and I also want to sell merchandise to hopefully get enough money to either buy a camera or just like make my content a little better.
All right.
So yeah, all about improvement, you know.
Yeah, it's all about improving.
Yeah.
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 Next.
How am I gonna get there?
Yeah.
How am I gonna get there? Let's see.
Somehow.
I'm trying to do a bunch of collaborations with people, either them coming on my channel or me going on theirs. Such as me having freaking you two on my podcast. But I'm gonna
no
try.
one watches my video.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do a bunch of collaborations, and also I've just been like on Instagram, just like, what do you guys want to see? How can I get to 1K? Like hashtag sub to Insult Web on Instagram. Like help me get to 1K. Whatever, like stuff like that. And surprisingly, like people that know me or don't know me, they're very okay. We got this. We're gonna help you get there. I remember in fucking school, people would say when you get to 1K instead of if you get to 1K. And I was like,
yeah.
Thanks boys, thanks for the camaraderie. But
Cool.
but the only way to do that is to maybe get on like someone that has 940 subscribers channel for a random reason. I don't know how I would do that. I don't know how I would manage doing that, scratching the back of my head. But like,
Don't know what it means. very perplexing.
I don't know how would I do that? If I came
Cool.
on your channel, what would I even fucking do? I could do a VR video, or you could like branch out a little bit.
Yeah, I've thought about branching out just a little bit. Well, the only changes that I've been thinking about like doing to my channel is like rebranding in a sense, like changing, the VR chat documentaries to VR chat biographies, since they're more so about people rather
Singular
than events
person
going on,
and other stuff.
and changing it only to VR chat documentaries whenever it's like a group of people or like a community of people, because I've done that a couple of times.
Mhm.
Are you
When it
thinking about
comes to
doing any 3D model stuff on your channel?
probably not, because I don't know how like that would be, incorporated. I haven't thought about that sort of thing.
I mean, I can pitch you ideas. Like, I got you. Like,
Yeah.
I pitch you ideas.
Yeah, but for people helping out and stuff, I've had, in a lack of a better term, a manager before, but it was more so just kind of like making connections in a sense. It was like, if I didn't know, if I used to know this one guy who knew several people that were part of the VR chat community.
Wikimedia. What? You'll
and he
get
was
that
able
later.
to,
You'll
yeah,
get that in due
maybe.
time.
All right then, I'll keep an eye out for that. But he basically just kind of just kept kept me busy, giving me people to do documentaries on, and of course things kind of went out of hand.
You cut out a little bit.
And yeah, ever since the whole like Knuckles thing, it's been like increasingly harder and harder to get things done.
If
And
you
really,
could remove the Knuckle Gang, what would you do? Like, would you remove them, or like, do you think they're like a nuisance, or do you think it's just a part of the game that?
I definitely agree that it is, well, for now, it is part of VR Chat's history. It shows kind of how, such a strong community can be so vulnerable at the same time, with just one measly joke. Because they're the kind of branching off of what I was originally going to say. The Knuckles, I remember that being, there was a different meme that used the same exact Knuckles model, but it was more of, it was something different. It was more of a like the, yeah, it was
I
the.
liked that. That was funny.
Yeah, it was the Suicide is Painless.
Yeah, and also I don't
the cryptic
want
one
to set the world on fire, like that meme.
Yeah, and I actually knew somebody who
Like
pretty much was known as the guy who had a Knuckles avatar. It was like this large, Knuckles. It was just like it didn't work for VR at all, even though despite him having VR, he would just look around. The IK was like the rig for the model was a little bit broken, so every time that he like sat down in his chair, or sat down into a chair, his entire body would freeze, and then whenever he turned his head, his neck would look like it snapped. It was great. It was funny, and then the Knuckles meme kind of got out of hand, which I think was like mostly fueled by Jamsky, so that's kind of why I'm just hesitant
also,
about like doing a documentary on him.
But also PewDiePie and whatnot, everybody just like hopping on.
Yeah.
The trend.
That sort of thing. And the guy who was, and the guy who was known for the Knuckles avatar just kind of went out of the loop in a sense, because it was, it was personal to him. It was his kind of identity that was kind of taken in a sense. And that sort of thing is kind of like what I feel is so special about VR chat, not because of someone's personality has been stripped away from them, but it's like how deep and personal it can get. As for what you originally asked about, like what you could do if I had someone to help with videos and stuff, it's really hard to say, because I've had people definitely help me, like I said, the manager that made connections and stuff, but currently I have my boyfriend who also has a camera avatar, as you've seen. But for the most part, they don't record. They don't have any recording software. But really, I think that's the only thing I would really need help with, is just having more people kind of on the camera crew, or
recording
team. So I can have like multiple angles of if something interesting happens, rather than just one perspective or one angle. That was me. So because I mean that's how I've designed the you know camera characters, or as I've called them, Camerons.
God damn it.
um,
It's like Cameron. C capital
Camera.
C A M apostrophe capital R O N, who will come on the show at some point.
Yeah.
Cameron.
And yeah, I've designed it to be all like have multiple camera people on
Yeah.
set, or quote unquote set, while doing something like that.
Dude,
So
that would be crazy.
really
to
all
have,
I
like a VR chat podcast.
Mhm.
Like we could you can get a bunch of people to just like make a you know how you have your portal world,
Mhm.
so just make one that's a conference table. Just
Yeah.
just
I mean, technically, there is a secret. There is a secret little small little meeting room that I have in my world. And actually, speaking of VR chat, something I also wanted to state, which was interesting, that happened just earlier and not too long ago, like a couple hours ago. I was invited to a Discord server that had like all the original like VR chat users back in the day,
Mhm.
and it was kind of an emotional roller coaster in a sense to kind of see all those people like as if still 2017. It's
What do you mean, like the original? Like, do you mean
like
like
the people
do they
that used to
still-
play the game, or like
People who
originally
played-
played the game.
yeah, people who played like VR chat before the whole Knuckles,
Knuckles, man.
So like
influence
content
stuff.
creators or just anyone?
Anyone. It was
Yeah.
really anyone. It doesn't you didn't have to be like a content creator or anything. You just have to be part of the community, part of the family,
Mhm.
in a sense that it was called, because there was only like at most, like when I started playing, there was at most 300 people playing every day, and most of the time everyone was in like the same couple of worlds.
And also, it was
So, like,
just talking. Now it's like on another fucking level. Of
Yeah, like
shit.
you can have
they
freaking
mini
spaceships
games.
and shit.
yeah, and they definitely had that sort of thing back then, but it was just not really indulged into that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I also
Um,
don't think it was as mechanically good as it is now.
Oh,
Like I don't think you had as many good like Mario Kart as I was saying before, or like shooting clones or whatever. Because they have those now, at least I think. I mean, I
yeah.
saw a
Well,
little bit.
they've had uh, uh, they had a shooting game where it was kind of like capture the flag almost.
Oh yeah, I played that. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, there are two versions where it's like one is like on a space station and the other one is like where you have to collect gold. You like
Mhm.
open safes and then take gold back to your quote unquote base or whatever. And those were kind of the games that everyone played. And of course, people would always go to the old hub where it was like kind of all rustic and it was nine. It was just a galaxy. It portrayed really well the whole idea of like VR chat being in a whole different world. While the art style that VR chat has taken now is more so of in a sense of
Cartoony.
this, just kind of cartoony, silly, and it's just like fun and games rather than really being part of a community, being
Yeah,
a part
I
of
mean,
a whole.
I kind
in
of
a
know what you're
sense.
talking about because I played it like right when the Knuckles meme was like kind of coming up, like when it wasn't really acknowledged, but it was like about to
There.
be, So
Right.
I
It's like
played
you
it
saw-
when
you
like
saw a
you would
couple.
see like 5 or something.
Mhm.
Per time you played, you would just like go into a server and there's like, oh, there's just like one fucking Knuckles, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And but then afterwards I like stopped playing, I think, after the first 2 streams because it just got too much of a like. I mean, I think I did it once because I was like, where the fuck does this go? Like,
Mhm.
like how do you get this many people to just do this stupid shit for like an hour? But I did it like a little bit, and I played Kana Knuckles, gotta say. But
Okay.
and then after that, I was just like kind of done. I was like, okay, I can't deal with like fucking. It got boring. I was like, I don't know. I talked about anime with a couple of those people. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was some neat shit.
So, have you been playing VR chat recently?
Yeah, no, he plays it all. Me or him?
Him.
He's been playing it. He plays it literally fucking every day.
So,
yeah,
like, what,
pretty much.
what new stuff like can you do? Because like another thing I always was like interested in is like how people like used items and held them in their hands. Because I had a VR headset and so I could like do that, but I just didn't know how. And tried to figure it out for the
Grip
longest time.
buttons.
Well, no, like
it's not that complicated, Pierce.
from your character model, like not like a marker, but like make something.
Oh, you have to have a specific character.
Or like
Yeah,
summon
well-
something, like summon a giant spaceship and lasers and shit.
Yeah, that sort of thing just comes with, when it comes to making custom avatars, and I know that's a meme that, that's actually one of the old memes that people would say is like how to custom avatar. But it really just kind of like comes down to how experienced you are with the game engine that VRChat runs on, which is Unity. Your understanding of like game objects, scripts, particle events, and like I know it's intimidating when you like first work with this sort of thing, but like over time it's quite surprisingly easy, oddly enough, because I'm able to, I like all the avatars I've created a bunch which are just, usually ports of like Overwatch models, Left 4 Dead 2, some other source models and things like that, and I'm able to, I've learned how to do things like, make a gunfire, like create an SMG, how to have it
Particle
so
effects.
that particle effects in a
Yeah.
sense, and be able to create a fully functioning charger from Left 4 Dead where I can run into somebody, pick them up with my giant hand, and smash them into the ground.
Wait, so there's physical contact now in VR chat where like
yeah,
you can.
I think there always has been.
Well, not exactly. There was
Depends on the
there was
object.
there was a period of time. I think it was like sometime around this time, actually, last year, that a new feature was added into VR chat, which allowed users to place like chairs and stuff onto their avatar, so that you could have other players sit on that chair that's on your avatar, and it was incorporated into things like
Wait, so like they
player-
would have a chair on their avatar that another person could sit in the chair.
yes, and
So, like,
usually
you can
this.
sit on their lap, basically.
Yeah, or on their shoulder or sort of
Or you
thing,
could
or they
play
could be
as a
like
chair.
floating. Yeah, if you really wanted to be.
I want to be the chair.
Yeah,
The chair
But-
that defines me.
even though it's just a simple idea, give it to a bunch of creative people. They're going to do a lot of creative things with it, such as me creating a fully functioning charger from Left 4 Dead and being able to pick somebody up with my hand and smashing them into the ground.
So you can force people in the chair.
Well, no,
No,
they have to actually
write, they have to like click E if you're on keyboard.
or no, they just have to click on this little sphere or circle that
Yeah.
appears over my hand.
Mm.
So they have to agree to being smashed
They
into
have
the
to
ground.
consent to being smashed. Okay, please. Consent
Yeah,
to
pretty
smash.
much. Consent to smash.
Just walk up to him, Becky. Let me smash, please.
Would
Yeah.
you like to finna smash? Jeez.
Yeah.
So what's the
Um,
coolest model you've seen? Like whether you've
coolest-
made it
The
or
coolest
like
one is like this cat one that was made by someone with like 900 and like it's like
Uh,
Robo.
As for the coolest model, I would have to. I've seen a lot of cool avatars that have been made, a lot of really amazing ones. I don't even know where to begin of like what exactly I would say is the best one I've seen, because there's multiple ones that I've seen that allow for like. I think one guy created like a full working character that was like from Rainbow Six,
Ooh.
where he could like
Yes,
pull
please.
out, like he could pull out several weapons. He could actually, grip the barrel of the gun and like aim properly as if he were like actually holding the gun. And
Do you remember what character it was?
I don't remember what it was. I'm not familiar with Rainbow Six at all.
Did he have a shield?
No.
Was it a female or male?
Male?
This is before
I don't
Rainbow
remember.
had like probably like 400 characters.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Rainbow
be able.
only has like what do you call it? Maybe like I think 50.
Yeah, but it used to have like 12.
I mean, either way,
Maybe
I won't be
less.
able to like give you all the details correctly of like
Yeah.
who it was. I don't even know if it was Rainbow Six, to be honest. On.
Is it the Halos? Is
Definitely
it
not
Master
Halo.
Chief?
Definitely not Master Chief. I know who that is. Um,
Sure. Just trying to cover up your tracks.
yeah, but there have been other avatars like, um, you know, admittedly, some anime avatars have been pretty cool. There was this one person who had like a rocket launcher. That we were in like a pretty open world, and then they just fired a rocket off into the distance, like several feet away of where everyone was. It hit, and it was this huge like nuclear explosion that like had gust of wind, huge mushroom cloud. It was like, for what it
Making that
was,
must have
it
been
was
pain. Like,
for how terrifying it was. It was like, wow, that's pretty.
dang.
So if someone were to shoot you with a gun, is it possible to like have a solid object, or is it just like a look?
uh,
What do you mean?
kind of a yeah. What do you mean?
Like, is it like role playing when you shoot a gun, or like can you like make someone fall, like, quote unquote?
It's more role.
It's
Because you don't
pretty
have,
much
like,
kind of
health
role
bar.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it's
well,
like
it
a
depends
health
on
bar.
Depending on the server.
Like
Well,
if
it
it's
depends on the world you're on. Yeah.
yeah, if it's like a physical object that would like the chair example that would like knock them down on the floor.
No, you can't be like
Eh.
Bart breaking a chair over Homer Simpson. It won't-
Yeah.
I know,
Well,
I'm keeping cool with the kids. What can I say?
yeah. When it comes to like interaction with players on that kind of degree, when it comes to like having weapons and such, usually that's only for in like specific worlds that have guns that are part of the world and like have an incorporated health system and such.
Hmm.
And that's only the only way you can shoot at somebody and kill them in a sense,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But of course, most of the time, most players that I've seen or that I know usually just play it for the social aspect or just hanging out with people with cool
Makes
avatars
sense, yeah,
and such. I mean, there are of course like the there is the occasional time that I get a random invite to a world. It's like, hey,
Hey,
so
do
and
you
so
want
has
to be
invited you.
friends? And then
Well,
you're like, oh no, I don't want to get hacked.
No, well, hacking, that's a whole different issue that I'll go on to like probably after this, but no, most of the time I would get like invites to worlds that would be like, hey, so and so has wanted you to play Murder with them, and it's like I've played Murder in VR chat, and it's actually really well made
Oh
for
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I played it a bit ago.
Yeah, especially in VR because it's and it's in reality, it's a very simple game. It's one person deemed murderer, everyone else, one person is
One
detective,
douchebag.
and then everyone else is just bystander.
In
Yeah.
CS.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's really just the people that make it really fun because like everyone picks up a character. It's like, so and so is the murderer. Just look at the way they're twitching or something like that. And it's like
Yeah.
all that sort of thing that just makes it's the community that makes VR chat fun. It doesn't matter how many games or mini games that VR chat has or all the worlds that there's available. It's always going to be the community that makes VR chat.
Well, yeah, because
Fun.
VR chat
Yeah.
without a community wouldn't be VR chat.
Yeah.
VR alone. It's
Yeah.
like the new Fallout game. Whenever everybody leaves, it's just going to be the newer Fallout game.
Oh yeah. And on the topic of hacking, I remember there was actually a period of time that it was somewhere after. Well, actually, I think it was the period of time of when the Knuckles meme started, all the way up to just like I'd say 5 months ago. That long period of time, about a year, of just there was a lot of people would go into private worlds because almost every public world would have some sort of hack or someone with a hacked
Knuckles or
client.
hackers.
Yeah, there was a huge issue of like people, stealing avatars, ripping
Well, yeah, it was a
files from
small
other
community,
players.
and then it blew up. And like anything that's so small and blows up, they don't really have the proper defenses yet.
Right, and
So wait, stealing avatars is like a big thing?
it was a big thing when it was because like everyone had, there was no way to share avatars. Like, oh hey, that's a cool avatar. Can I clone that off you? That was actually the product of the whole issue of somebody going like, oh, that person has a cool avatar. I want to use that, so I'm going to install this hacked or cracked version of VR chat, go onto the servers and then just bloop, pick
I
up
didn't
that
even know
person's
that was a
avatar.
thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think that like that. Is there like any drawbacks, or is that like it? Because like it doesn't sound like a big deal to me. Like I don't
The
play,
only
but like
drawback is that it was people's like personal avatar. So if someone like
Spent hours of
for
dedication to something for someone to just like take it away from them when they could have and pass it off as their own type of thing because you
yeah.
can't because you couldn't share it,
okay,
so they would
yeah.
guess that it was their creation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and even then, it was like, for example, if somebody were to, say it's, early 2018, I'm in a public world of the pug, and someone comes up to me and then suddenly change avatar, they now look like me. Um, First of all, that would be, stunning because it's like, why is this person now taking like my identity? That's, my virtual being, my person that I identify with, because it's more than just an avatar that someone works hard on. It's not just the effort,
Well,
it's
especially back
the
then.
connection.
Like now,
Yeah,
it's more like public who or what thing you get. Like if I joined your server, I could play as your avatar type thing.
well, almost. There are still
Almost,
people
yeah.
that have like their own personal identification. Like
Yeah.
I have a person that has like Shovel Knight avatars. Their
But I'm
username
saying,
is Shovel
but I'm
Knight.
saying not many people would care to steal
Yeah,
avatars anymore just because there's no point.
yeah, because the majority of players have just public avatars
Yeah.
that they pick up from the public world, so it doesn't really matter. Um,
Okay, I have a question that like doesn't apply to VR chat whatsoever.
uh
It's more like the 3D modeling type stuff.
Yeah.
So when you see trailers like the new Dora trailer or the Sonic whatever trailer and the new live action 3D whatnots,
Yeah.
do you have like a different perspective than a common simple man like me or Poggy about like when you see like a 3D model that is like horrendous, you're like, oh shit, Sonic looks like a goddamn like he fell down 50 flights of stairs and isn't getting back up and going fast anytime soon.
Well, it definitely does put on a different perspective, but it's more of the technical achievement rather than the artistic direction. It is a little bit of that, to be honest, but majority of the time it's just kind of understanding the complexity of like it's
So you're still impressed by
especially
it though,
yeah, because definitely being able to like without a doubt making
especially them remodeling him too. They have to do all that shit now.
yeah, especially without a doubt making a cartoon like two-dimensional pixelated character, translate that into a realistic version of that without
Yeah, and that's
losing the
also
charm of the
that's also
character.
Sonic's like biggest drawback is that he could like or the Sega could never like really put him in 3D well.
Right,
And
and
they've
that's
just started to figure it out kind of.
yeah, especially with
Sonic
the 3D
Forces
games that he's
wasn't
made.
wasn't that bad, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that you have to really appreciate the effort because like the Sonic that we got in the like first trailer is, although yes, it is very much
pretty fine.
well,
I
it's
thought
well
it was-
deep in
Like I would have been
Yeah.
okay with seeing a movie like that. Like
yeah.
I hope
I would have
they
said the
release
same,
it.
but
I
it's very
hope
much
they
in the
release both
uncanny
versions.
It's just the teeth, man. Like that's just nasty.
I hope they release both versions so badly. Someone's gonna have to like. Someone's gonna like accidentally leak that from Sega,
Yeah,
like the original.
right.
That'd be so cool. Like watching the original and like the new model.
Watching the original, yeah. And and especially for movies, it's not just the model that is all the work that's put into it. It's creating a good physics and lighting engine to kind of like calculate what this model would look like in this environment because it's not just all the texture where it's all the materials and such that make a model look good. It's also the lighting, the sense of artistic taste and environment, camera work and such.
I wonder if the
Standard
animation
stuff.
team behind it was the video game animation team, or if it was like I wonder if they hired a few new people, but they just like kept some of the video game people and just put them on to making a movie.
Right.
Because they could have done that probably.
Yeah, probably. Because animation is one of those things where it's like it's animation
if they
is
can make a
animation,
cutscene, they could probably
but
try and make it.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly though, like mass respect for them for literally just like
Being like, fuck it.
redesigning. Yeah, just like most people would just be like, no, we made this movie, but like they're like,
Redesigning it, yeah.
we fucked up. We understand.
Oh,
We're
I
gonna make
I
it
thought you were
again.
saying that like, oh, props to them for being like, fuck it, let's make a movie.
No, I was gonna say props to them for listening and just not putting out a bad movie.
Well, it's gonna be.
Right.
It's not gonna be too great. Like we're
Yeah, it's
giving
not
it
gonna
more
be
props,
bad.
but
Yeah,
it's not gonna be that bad. I think it's gonna be entertaining, and that's like
Yeah,
the end
it-
goal.
Yeah, it really just shows of how caring.
Photoshop edit part 2 question mark.
It just shows of how caring and like understanding of how
Sega.
Sega's
Sega's like compared to Nintendo. Like that's why it's like Sega does what Nintendo don't, because Sega, like, if you make a fan game, they'll hire you.
right.
Like they're
'Cause
cool
they
like
understand they understand that, and I know I've said this like probably like 100 times now. It's the community.
that. It's the community
It's
that
the
matters
community.
the most.
It's the community that makes everything
No, but
special.
Sega in specific is very like good at that. Like whenever they see a good fan game, they're like, "Hey, you want to work for us?" Such as like Sonic Mania, the Sonic game that literally most or anybody that liked Sonic loved because it was Sonic, and it was made by all fan game people that just made Sonic fan games.
Right.
So, do you think 55 minutes is enough for a podcast, or do you have any last gripes or pondering statements?
I don't. I can't think of anything right now at the moment other than I don't think I exactly finished my personal story of encountering a hacker in VR chat.
Oh, gotta turn off my computer.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It's
Yeah,
just somebody came into a world that I was in, my Portal world, while I was still working on it. There was this really bad issue with Unity, not VRChat specifically, where it was if someone could like connect through VRChat
They could get into your
through
stuff.
a server, they could connect through Unity, and especially if you had Unity open, which I did at the time while I was working on the world, they were able to take control of my computer. Like they started speaking over my like computer audio and like speaking over the game, and it was just this weird Russian guy that was like, you have
Please.
Fuka.
you
Dio.
have 10 you have 10 minutes, or else I destroy your computer.
Yeah.
It's like,
Turn off computer.
Yeah,
That's
10
the
minutes to
computer.
do what?
fair enough. Well, that's the thing. I was originally freaked out because I don't think this is a rational fear, but I am very unsettled by the concept of being hacked. I'm a lot more comfortable with the idea because I know how to like handle a situation like that. If I'm being hacked, I know how to handle it better. But back then, I was like just terrified of the idea.
Yeah, I'm more like I can restart my computer and I can probably download everything within a day.
Yeah, that's
again.
pretty much the thing.
Mm.
Unless it's my
yeah,
YouTube.
especially
If my
if I-
YouTube gets hacked, I'm kind of fucked. But besides that,
I mean that sort of thing is kind of what I was afraid of.
but I can always call Google.
Yeah, but I always I like thinking back on that and kind of laughing at it because it was like, again, literally all the guy said was like, you have 10 minutes
You
or
have
else
10
I
minutes.
destroy your computer. It's like, wait, 10 minutes to do what exactly?
Dude, 10 minutes to give you a crisp high five and a nice burrito. Thanks, Taco Bell.
But yeah.
Pierce, any last, or Poggy or PM Doggy, any last
I don't
statements?
care. I guess, look out for the resurge of PM Doggy Zero on YouTube.
Okay,
That's all I gotta
okay,
say.
here, I was gonna say now's the time to shout yourself out if you want to give yourself gripes to anybody that can reach the 58 or 57 minutes, depending on how much I added this. Any last statements to anybody that reaches this point? You can shout yourself out and do whatever.
Xander has a giant peepee.
That's not shouting yourself out, but okay.
I'm interested now.
I'm
Just
intrigued.
in-
I'm intrigued. Okay, yeah, this has been the fucking insult cast. Thanks to Technoprism for getting my subs to maybe 200, and thanks for PM Doggy for coming on and being co-host while Davis was at dinner or something. This is episode 2. Episode 3 coming back at some point in time whenever I get really fucking bored or don't know what to make.
Episode
Okay.
3.
Yeah. Fucking, this has been the insult cast. I'm a Finna Blast.